Look, Dad.
Thanks.
Kate is still a fugitive, but claims she is innocent and quickly makes her escape.
Put your damn clothes on, Jim.
Got it, partner.
Sawyer is a cop, but struggles with the same dark past. Hurley is a lottery winner, and good fortune follows him wherever he goes.
Everybody loves Google.
But he's unlucky in love.
I'm too busy to meet someone.
No Mary.
Sun and Jin are not married, yet carry on a secret love affair.
우리 도망가요.
Try to relax.
Claire is pregnant and struggling with a decision to give up her baby. Saeed is haunted by his troubled past. He is still in love with Nadia, but she's married to his brother. Locke is happily engaged to his girlfriend Helen.
You are a very sweet man.
These stories are about something else. You know, can they find each other again? Can they impact each other's lives? Would they ever have met if the island hadn't intervened in some way?
Jack Shepard. I'm John Locke.
It's nice to meet you, John.
Nice to meet you, too.
On the island, Locke never told Jack that he was in a wheelchair. Jack just so happens to be a spinal surgeon.
Surgery isn't going to do anything to help me. My condition is irreversible.
Nothing's irreversible.
These strangers began to impact each other's lives.
We were on the same flight. Sydney.
Although Kate was clearly on the wrong side of the law,
Ladies first.
Thanks.
Take care.
Sawyer let her get away.
Go! I said go. What are you doing?
She encountered Claire, and the two formed an unexpected bond.
It's really cool having these moments with somebody that you really know nothing about, but you just immediately trust, and you don't even know why.
In the sideways, Kate feels this strange connection with this woman, this pregnant woman. She wants to help her.
Everything is just fine. The boy just likes to move around.
The prospect of that, for me, was really exciting. I loved the idea of exploring the what if.
John Locke lost his job,
Dude.
which led to another connection.
Hurley, it turns out, is actually the owner of the very company that John Locke has been working for.
I own a temp agency, too.
And Hurley, in turn, gets John Locke a job as a substitute teacher at this school. Some of the other teachers there are familiar faces, most notably Benjamin Linus.
I don't believe we've met. John Locke, substitute.
Well, welcome. There's little moments of bleed-through between the realities there.
Maybe you should be the principal.
There have been times when Ben thinks he knows this guy from somewhere. What is it?
You don't remember me, do you?
Should I?
Kind of gives you a little something new to play this season, and kind of getting to see the other sides of people as they've played them.
For Sun, the whole buttoning the sweater and unbuttoning it, she sort of takes that full circle in Sun and Jin's flash sideways, you know, taking off that sweater right in front of Jin to seduce him.
But when Sun's father uncovered her secret, he hired two men to kill Jin. Jin defeated them. But Sun was caught in the crossfire.
Although Sun was shot, everything seems to have turned out okay. And currently she's convalescing in the same hospital where a number of our other characters happen to be.
What is your deal, Jim?
All right, look. I go out with her. You gonna leave me alone?
In the sideways, Sawyer is a little bit at a loss in his own life in terms of his romantic interests, and Miles, his partner, is trying to fix him up with various people, including Charlotte, who we met on the island.
Pleasure to meet you, man.
But then Sawyer kind of blows that up. As he's going about his life and duties as a cop, who runs into him again but Kate Austen? And he takes Kate Austen and he locks her up in jail, and yet he's still got this strange connection with her, and he doesn't really quite understand it.
Of all the cars in Los Angeles, you smash into mine. Almost like someone's trying to put us together.
Are you hitting on me?
But Kate wasn't the only one who captured Sawyer's attention.
The ATM surveillance camera grabbed this jabroni fleeing the scene.
Alrighty, put a name to that face.
Saeed finds himself in a set of circumstances where he gets involved in some criminal activity.
It's still a character that's inured to violence. Somehow the same destiny seems to have trapped him.
As a result, he goes on the run and finds himself being pursued now by Sawyer and Miles.
This is Jerome, Detective Strong.
So in another way, we find that our characters are all connecting.
We do seem to be the sum total of the choices that we make.
You're under arrest.
Certain choices are invariably full of consequence, and some of those consequences can be quite damaging.
Sir, you're a doctor?
Yes.
Could you come with me, please?
There's one character in these Sideways, Charlie Pace,
He's not breathing.
who basically is choking on this bag of heroin that he is trying to conceal. He says that he had a near-death experience, and he saw this image of love.
A woman, blonde, rapturously beautiful.
We know that Charlie loved Claire. In the Sideways, they've never met, but he's describing her to a T.
Well, that's just poetry, brother.
Desmond works for Charles Whitmore
Welcome to Los Angeles, my friend.
Thank you.
and was assigned to be Charlie's chaperone.
You heard of a band called Drive Shaft?
No, can't say I have.
He was leading an empty life. He wasn't depressed, but it was just there was something missing, and he knew there was something missing. He couldn't put his finger on it.
Charlie took the opportunity to show Desmond what he saw.
So Charlie grabs the wheel. He takes Desmond's car off this pier, and they go into the water. And as Desmond is trying to extricate Charlie from the car, Charlie puts his hand up against the window, and Desmond suddenly has this flash of when Charlie died. And written on Charlie's hand is not Penny's boat. Desmond, of course, has never met Penny, doesn't know that name, but he has this sort of profound sense of the most ultimate deja vu you could ever experience. This means something to him.
And I thought, I've seen something. I've seen the light. But I think it's even beyond that. I think he's become more enlightened.
Who's Penny?
Desmond's awakening set a series of key events in motion.
These two worlds are starting to move a little bit closer together. And the reason is that Desmond Hume had a moment of awareness. He seems to have some complete and total memory of the island.
Can you get me the manifest for my flight from Sydney? Oceanic 815.
Do you mind if I ask you what you need it for?
I just need to show them something.
During the final season of Lost, the story on the island dove deep into the mythology and explored its greatest mysteries.
You want to know a secret, Jack? Something I've known a long, long time? We're not on an island. We never were. We're in hell.
I've known him since I was 12 years old. Richard looked just like he does today.
I started to get an inkling that he was a little different than I'd imagined. I guess when I found out that he didn't age.
And how the hell do you think that happened?
For a long time, people on the show have wondered, what is the story with this guy, Richard Alpert? The guy doesn't appear to age. It looks like he's wearing mascara, eyeliner. Are they related?
Yeah.
And we learned definitively, number one, he is not wearing eyeliner.
The flashback with Richard Alpert was killer. I think everyone loved that, and I was right in that crowd.
Alpert was a poor field worker in the Canary Islands of the 1860s.
It was a period piece, and it felt like a mini movie within the context of Lost. It had sort of classic themes and elements.
A series of tragic events led to Alpert's arrest. He was sold as a slave and confined on a ship bound for the New World. The vessel was drawn to the island and shipwrecked during a violent storm.
For many years, the audience has been wondering, how the heck did that ship get in the middle of the jungle? And in this episode, we actually finally learn what happens.
After 6 torturous days, Alpert was freed by the man in black.
It's good to see you out of those chains.
But soon became a pawn in his age-old war with Jacob.
I didn't know that they would really go into the depths that they did with this episode, and I certainly didn't know that the episode would be tied to the mythology.
My name is Jacob.
Alpert became Jacob's advisor in exchange for eternal life.
I was thrilled when I got to not only partake in that, but also just learn as a fan about what was at play on the island.
Think of this wine as what you keep calling hell. Malevolence, evil. The cork is this island. And it's the only thing keeping the darkness where it belongs.